Hey everyone, Shimoto here. So today, I will be making a video to answer everyone's questions on how to improve their winter orb build. I decided to make this video because I noticed that majority of builds under the Elementalist or Occultist section in the build help channel in the POE Discord were mostly asking how they can improve their winter orb build. I also noticed that most if not all of the builds took inspiration or followed Fobgun's guide. And yes, I also followed his build guide, which is why I understand the feeling of not knowing what to do, especially in the P-Charge stack over here and transitioning it towards the Uber P-Charge. So hopefully I'm able to answer any questions you guys have, and you're also free to drop your questions in the comments. With that said, let's get right into the video. So this is Fobgun's tree in his guide, and this is the Uber P-Charge part. I will not be covering everything that he wrote on his notes because honestly it's very detailed. And of course, I also won't be covering everything like the need for the Rallycash impatience. I won't be covering all of these notes because again, his guides are very much detailed. I'll be more focusing on the things he didn't cover or the things that people recommended I do with the build, just so everyone is aligned and not expecting me to break down everything because he already does have a video on it and I totally recommend you to check it out. But anyways, with that said, again, going into the video. Okay, so the yapping session will start now. I'm so sorry if this will take long, but it's gonna be pretty quick, I hope. So the first upgrade that I would recommend is over here. So as you can see, Fubgun's Unnatural Instinct Viridian Jewel is uncorrupted. So the first, this pretty minor upgrade is to corrupt it or look for a corrupted one that has damage penetrates 1% elemental resistances and damage penetrates 1% cold resistance. So in general, this gives you 2% elemental penetration. But yeah, 2% is still 2%. It's pretty good. I think it's, it's there. Um, Next upgrade that I would recommend is replacing your shield charge, because you will no longer need your shield charge because you will be upgrading your frost blink to a frost blink of wintry blast. So what does it look like? It's like this. There's no cooldown. Basically your cast time is your cooldown. So what did I replace my shield charge with, and why do you have to replace it? You will need to replace shield charge with Animate Guardian. So this is what my Animate Guardian's equipped with: Kingmaker, Fractal Thoughts, Doppelganger Guys, Legacy of Fury, and Southbound. So I think personally, do not spec into Animated Guardian if you cannot afford Kingmaker and a Corrupted Mask with the implicit nearby enemies have Malediction. IMO, these two are pretty much required. Again, you need a corrupted version of any mask, any corrupted mask, as long as it has nearby enemies have Malediction. It doesn't have to be this. Everything else is just for life and resistances and armor. So like here, it gives you a shit ton of armor and evasion. Here, so the interaction here is that your minion will never get the unhinged skill, or rather it will never get insane. So it's always sane. So you will always have 40% less physical and chaos damage taken, and it will also regenerate 10% life over 1 second when hit. So yeah. And this one's just also in general 16% increased life and cold resistances, pretty good. I will leave the guide below on how to itemize your minion. You don't really need these two to make it work, but it is still highly recommended, or rather for me, I wouldn't recommend specking into Animated Guardian yet, or investing into it yet, without these two. Without the implicit and this. But yeah. Next you might be wondering how I was able to spec into Animated Guardian, because you will be lacking one socket. So what I did was, over here in Herald of Ice, I removed power charge on critical because the only reason you will want power charge on critical is because if your skills get a critical strike, you will get a power charge. But as you notice, you will, at this point in the game, there's a good chance that your power charges, it will stack up like crazy. Well, I mean, your frenzy charge. Your frenzy charge will stack up like crazy regardless, right? So, what I did was I removed the power charge on critical. So now it's 3 sockets. So now, from the, over here, from the gloves, you can now put it in your shield. So now, as you can see, Ice Bite, Scorn 4, and Herald. And in your gloves now, you can put in Animate Guardian. So what I socketed with is Minion Life Support, Meat Shield Support, and Companionship Support. So in total, it gave me 24,935 maximum life. And the other thing on why it's good is because the Animate Guardian, if it's your only minion, it takes 15% of hit damage from its life first if something hits you. And also, they take 28% less damage. So yeah, overall, just defensive buff in general. The next upgrade that I would recommend is stacking up your endurance charges. So I, in Fubgun's guide, over here, I replaced this over here, and basically just added something with Enduring Ward, because Enduring Ward gives me 20% chance to gain an endurance charge when you block, and that's a lot already, and 10% chance to block attack damage while at maximum endurance charges. So with that, I also spec'd into this one over here, just so I get +1 maximum endurance charges, and that gives me 4 endurance charges. So it may not seem like a lot, but honestly, if you think about it in the wider scale, it is pretty a lot, you know. But yeah, that was my third recommended update. The next upgrade that I would recommend you do is get a better Elegant Hubris. So, what Elegant Hubris do you need? Again, you can spec into anything you want. You can follow this. This is basically still Fubgun's thing, but in Fubgun's, he has critical strike multiplier, damage per power charge, and increased spell damage. And it's mostly damage. You will need this Eternal Fervor, 10% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit. Why do you need Eternal Fervor? This is basically because when you're doing bosses that don't really spawn minions or don't spawn it as much, you will have no way to obtain your power charges, and in turn, you won't be able to get any frenzy charges, because your only way to obtain power charge and frenzy charge is by killing minions, right? So, like here, gain a power charge on killing a frozen enemy. So, if you can't kill anything, you're not getting any power charges, right? So, yeah. In general, it just helps you clear in general. Again, I don't have it right now, but yeah, that's currently what I'm looking into. All of them are currently kind of pricey, so I'm still hoping to see if anything goes down or if anything new comes up. Another thing is that if you are getting it, if you are gonna get the upgraded one, you will need to get the Impossible Escape Mind Over Matter version, because you will be wasting a lot of passive skill points if you don't get it. It will save you a lot of skill points if you just giving you these 3. But yeah, I recommend you getting this first, then upgrading it, because if you get it, you can't even spec into these without wasting a lot of skill points, right? So yeah, that's my I think last upgrade. That should be the last upgrade. There's not much to upgrade after this point. You can spec into this, which is what Fubgun has, but again, this is a bit later into the game because this is pretty pricey. It's 300. But yeah, this just gives you one. I think the idea here is just to give you the power charge and the energy shield. So what I normally did with this is just I got another one of these and I just plopped it in here, without really doing this. But again, if you have it, put it in there. But yeah, that is basically it for this video. going forward, I will be getting maybe a better amulet, maybe better rings. Well, the rings are pretty pricey, so maybe not. But yeah, that is it for this quick yap session. Hopefully it was quick. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys warb properly. Hope you guys have fun warbing. Bye bye.